guys, Carl Cooper here with On the Black. This is part one of an interview that some reporters and bloggers, including myself, did with David Wright on Saturday as he was hosting his baseball clinic at Chelsea Piers for the After School All-Stars. In this part, in part one, we asked David Wright about his thoughts on Sandy Alderson, his thoughts on how the managerial search is going, some questions about the clinic, and a little bit more.
Now and looking for a manager. What are your impressions of what's happening? I guess first off with Sandy.
It's from the brief time that I spoke to Sandy. I mean it just seems like obviously the first impression, he's very intelligent, very smart, very quick, and I think that he's got from what I've heard and the short time I spoke to him, he's got a tremendous plan in place. Kind of moving forward. So I'm excited to see who's going to be managing the team, and just from what Sandy said, I'm excited that the direction that the organization is heading. I'm really looking forward to getting back out there. I mean, we've had this conversation, a lot the last few years that you leave this bitter taste in your mouth and you can't wait to get going again, and that's kind of where I'm at now.
You know some of the guys already because they're internal candidates. What do you know? What kind of dealings have you had with Terry Collins, particularly?
I mean, really, the only work I've done with Terry was getting out of spring training last year early, and he was kind of running things for everybody down there early, and from what I've seen, seems like a great guy, and brings a lot of fire and passion to the game. But like I said, it's been only probably a few days, a few weeks, dealing with him, so I'm not, all that familiar with him. But I know, from what I've heard at least, with Chip and Bob Melvin, I've known him for a little while, and Clint Hurdoff played. He actually picked me for an All-Star game, so I'll be grateful for him for that. Kind of so I guess that list that everybody's talking about, I like the candidates on it.
As a player, Dave, do you ever pick guys that would be a favorite for you, or do you just think that anybody that comes out of that list is going to be able to do a decent job? Or
I mean, it's something for me that I don't know really enough about any of them to say that one would be better than the other. I've talked to a number of different people that love all different guys. I remember talking to Orlando Hudson, and he couldn't say enough good things about Melvin. And you talk to different guys and that have some sort of connection with Terry Collins, and they can't say enough good things about him. And obviously playing for Chip, I know what he brings to the table, and Clint. I mean, it's just I think every guy brings something a little different to the table, and it's from what I've heard and from what I've read, it seems like the search went well, and they got some good candidates that are left.
So you're reaching out to other guys who have played with guys like Orlando?
Just kind of caught up in conversation. I got to know Orlando pretty well during one of the All-Star games, and I remember just talking. I think it was the time when Mr. Torrey was going to L.A., and I asked about playing under him and Bob Melvin, and he had great things to say about both of them. So I mean that's kind of where I'm drawing that from.
Dave, you're big on giving back to the community. Can you tell us a little bit about the clinic that you're doing today?
Yeah, I mean it's great. I've had a very fortunate being able to partner up with Pirates Booty and to be able to bring these kids out. I think there's 60 or 70 kids out there, and from really all over New York, and part of them from the After School All Stars. So it's kind of cool to come in here and be able to do a baseball clinic, because I really haven't done too much kind of baseball things since the season ended. So getting back in here and getting a chance to talk about baseball for a great cause, with a great partnership with Pirates Booty. I mean it's kind of gets the juices flowing again, kind of thinking about spring training.
do you, with the whole new administration, Dave, I mean, new GM, he brought in two of his buddies in Ricciardi and DePodesta. Do you wonder where you stand as a player? I mean, even as somebody as established as yourself, like when he comes in with an open mind and says we have to think of a lot of different ways to improve this team? I mean, do you ever wonder about, wow, I mean, am I a guy that could be talked about in trades? Am I a guy, where am I going to fit in? Or do you not? Did he say, did you talk to him at all about those sort of things?
I mean, it was quick when I did talk to him. I was just basically calling to congratulate him on the job. It was right afterwards. And I know he was busy running around. Jay had him probably doing a million different things. But, it's one of the things where, I want to be here. Obviously, I've made that well known. But ultimately, that's out of my hands. It's something where, I hope I'm here. I want to be, for me, I guess the ultimate goal to be here, through the good, through the bad, and be part of the reason that we kind of turn things around. I've made that, well known, but, like I said, it's there's some business sides to this too, so that are out of my control. But if I have a vote, if I get to say, I'd like to stay and kind of be part of the reason that we turn things around.
David Sandy has said not to expect a big splash in free agency, at least for the first year. Do you feel like this team has enough to compete next year?
Well, I mean, I think that it's up to us as players, to go out there and do what we're capable of doing. I think that every team, it'd be nice to go out there and spend some money, get some free agents, make some trades. But, with the money that we've already spent, who knows if that's going to be possible. But, I think that, if we go out there and if we stay healthy and we do what we're supposed to do, there's not too many really different pieces from the team that we have coming back last year to, the team that, really ran away with it in 2006. But there's, to be able to do that, we have to, go out there and as players kind of put it all together, stay healthy, and, do kind of reach that potential that I think that, a lot of the players on this team have. But I think that just like every other team, I think you got to look to try to make some improvements and, make some changes, especially since, that the last few years, we definitely haven't reached the expectations that we've had for ourselves and other people have had for us.